Hi, I'm Christi Powell. I'm here with Angela Gardner, and we are up for another episode of Women Talk Construction. And today we have a very impactful leader in ABC, New Jersey, Associated Builders and Contractors. They are a trade association that helps commercial and industrial organizations thrive with workforce development and safety. Really, really excited to hear the impact that Samantha is making in New Jersey. Hi, Samantha. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Christy. Hey, Angela. How are you? I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, we're so glad that you're
Yay!
here. I'm going to hit on a couple of things that really impressed me in your bio, but then audience, if you want to know more about Samantha, make sure that you read her bio. It's long. It's very impressive. And
Very.
we don't want to waste time talking about how awesome she is, even though she is very awesome. She currently serves as the president and CEO of ABC New Jersey. She actually came into this role before as a director of government affairs. And if you know a lot about government affairs, and a lot of people don't, but it takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, and a lot of conversations to make things happen that help the construction industry. So we're really excited about that conversation with Samantha today. She's also passionate about diversity in construction, which really fits with our mission and vision at Women Talk Construction. So we were glad that she said yes. And her leadership has earned her recognition on Insider's New Jersey's Top Millennials Power List, top labor list, in addition to being honored during the Women Who Empower Awards. So she's also been named to the Philadelphia Titan 100, which celebrates the region's most accomplished CEOs and executives. How cool. So glad to have you here today. Let's just start by talking a little bit about what your everyday role is. I know that's not the first question I have on my list, but I think it's really important for people to understand what is a trade association and what do you do every day, because it's a lot of hats, right?
Oh, it's a lot of hats. Every day is different. We get asked that question quite a bit, especially when I go into schools and I talk to young people. They're like, well, what does a day in the life of Sam look like? And it's a hard question to answer because every day is so different. But let's get into the trade association question. So ABC is the national association. We have 67 chapters nationwide in all different states, and I serve all of New Jersey. So essentially, I am the person that is in charge of all of the members within our association in New Jersey, and we have members from outside of the state that join New Jersey as well for some compliance reasons. And my job is to provide services to them. We tell our members very frequently, hold us accountable for your dues. If there's something that we're not providing that you like, we will find a way to do it. So we do everything from networking events, which members find great value in, talking to their peers, finding out which projects are going to be happening, being able to mingle with one another, all the way to safety and apprenticeship, which are, in my opinion, some of the best value that you can get within ABC because of the hard work and the dedication that goes into programs like that, and then the outcomes that ultimately are received by the member. So they're getting trained and skilled workforce that they wouldn't have had previously. Their job sites are safer. Their OSHA ratings go up. And at the end of the day, their employees leave the job site safely and get to go
Mm-hmm.
families, which is the most important thing. So we wear a lot of hats here. I have everything from people calling me, asking me how to navigate, some red tape politically, to people calling me and asking me for, advice on a project that they're working on. So it could be really anything at the drop of a hat, but that makes it fun. That's why I love my job. Every day is so different.
And that was perfect because you actually answered the first question in that answer. So that was awesome. And it was, how have you fueled the chapter's growth? And you literally just answered that. So that's awesome. Thank you for just what you do for the industry. I think one of the reasons we started the podcast is there's so many people out there that don't understand what our industry is made of and what it takes to be in the industry and stay in the industry. And that's one of the things Angela and I talk about all the time. We can pull in all the people that we want to pull in, but not everybody's cut out for this industry, right? It's not the easiest industry to work through. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being a woman that represents the industry. on the call today.
Awesome. We're so happy to be here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you kind of touched on your apprenticeship program a little bit, but now we're going to actually dive into it more. So, ABC New Jersey runs a 26 DOL-approved apprenticeship plus pre-apprenticeship program like COR. And you might want to mention our audience what that acronym stands for. But can you share a story where these efforts change someone's life and what keeps you passionate about the talent pipelines?
So, CORE stands for Construction Orientation Readiness Education. So that is really our pre-apprenticeship program. Before somebody enters our own apprenticeship program, they get to explore various different trades, get to figure out which trades they're interested in. We have today's hot topic where everybody, which trade everybody wants to go in is electrical. Everybody that I talk to, every high schooler that I talk to, everybody wants to be an electrician, which is great. So happy for them. But when I tell them, this is what the market space looks like, and there might be a little bit of an oversaturation in some disciplines, I ask them, what other trades are you interested in? And oftentimes that hasn't been thought about. So our core program is awesome because they get to actually hands-on experience, at least get a taste for several different trades.
I like it.
They get to find a backup. Even if they're dead set on electrical, that is totally fine. But they might say, I really like plumbing too. I didn't know I was going to like it, but I do like it.
We need plumbers.
We do. Yes. We need carpenters. We need everybody. We need different trade professionals. But operating engineers and electricians, those are the two hot ones right now. So CORE is really that opportunity. And we really give CORE to a broad audience because there might be folks that are interested in construction, but they are not sure if they want to go through a full-blown apprenticeship program, or they're not sure if construction is ultimately where they want to end up. So CORE is a great place to see, to really weed people out. Does this work for you? These are the hours that you're going to be working typically. This is what's going to be demanded of you physically. These are the safety measures that you're going to have to conform to. And here's the various trades that you could participate in. We've had people that at the end of it, they said, this was such a wonderful opportunity, but I'm not cut out for construction. And I take the win as well. You know what? We don't want to, we don't want to force people into construction. As you guys alluded to, it's not a career path for everyone. It's not a cookie cutter profession where everybody is going to fit. So it takes dedicated, hardworking people, and it's better to find out early. So the CORE really does that. One instance that I can think of where we've made a huge impact is we do a lot of partnering with the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey. John Harmon, who's their founder and CEO, is a dear friend. And he and I have really, grown together and become very close over the years. They are, very instrumental in helping us dive into diverse communities that previously we did not have a footprint in, that construction offered in high school as an option for them to explore that career path. So he has been very helpful in getting my foot in the door to be able to have those conversations with young people. And from that, we have been able to connect with groups like the Work Group, who was here yesterday with 35 young people, Aspire Youth, which is wonderful, Block, which is Black Ladies of Construction. And all of those groups serve different populations around the state and are working really hard to get more minorities into the trades, which I think is awesome. We want to have, our work sites look like the communities that they're within. So, seeing, really diverse areas with a all-white construction crew is not representative of the area. So we'd like to see more diversity and, again, just expand opportunities to people that haven't traditionally been exposed. So that's some ways that we're making a huge impact here in New Jersey.
I love that. I think that we need to do the same in the Carolinas. Just saying.
I'd be happy to make some introductions for you.
I would love that. We would love that. So obviously that's a big passion of yours, right? And that's a great impact story for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We're not seeing underutilized businesses and genders and races in our industry, and we haven't for a long time. And we thought it was getting better, but the people that are coming in, because they've been exposed to it and they see it on social media, they're watching reels or TikToks or whatever that happens to be. They're coming in, but they're not prepared for it.
Correct.
Right. And then they turn around and leave. And so your program sounds like it's really showing them before they take a job, and it costs a company a lot of money to actually, and hiring and firing is very expensive.
Sure
right. So that core program is really offering something to your members that nobody really thinks about every single day. Right.
Yes.
They need to understand what they're getting into before they say yes, especially in our industry. So I love that. With your government affairs background, I'm going to make this a little more personal because I can. And I just had a talk with my government affairs director a few minutes ago before this. And one of her biggest struggles is, how do we tell our members what she does? Right? Like, that is probably the hardest thing she's challenged with right this moment. Some of our members just don't understand why it's so important if we put a PAC fundraiser on the calendar. Why do how do we get our members engaged? Number one. Number two, how do we get them educated? Because it sounds like you've built partnerships with New Jersey apprenticeship networks and state initiatives, and you've created collaborations that strengthen your programs. And I know that she's going to love hearing this podcast for sure. But why is it so important? Why is advocacy so important to the workforce growth?
So I'll start by saying it is not just a struggle in the Carolinas. It is also
okay.
Here. It has been a long uphill battle and it continues. I mean, it's not going to ever stop, I don't think. But how I explain it to our members when we have new member orientations or we're onboarding somebody is government affairs is the sword and the shield of the association. We're here to protect you and also fight on your behalf. So if there's something that, is written into law that is not serving you, or there's, some type of issue that you need addressed through regulations, whatever it may be, ABC is here to help you. We've gone as far as helping people, with even personal issues, to direct them to the right legislators. So, by having an association that fights on your behalf in the advocacy realm, you have this, really great professional service that would cost you upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars a year if you had to retain that on your own.
Right.
Additionally, ABC National says this all the time. It's get into politics or get out of business. And if you don't care about what's going on in the political realm, doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Tell my employees and my members all the time. I said, I don't care. I don't care where you fall on the political spectrum. I care about your business.
Right.
So it's a matter of, really being involved enough to understand what's going on, realizing that voting is important, being on, a local basis all the way up to state races, gubernatorial races, presidential elections, all of those things matter. I feel very passionate about that, obviously being from the government affairs realm, but I know that has spread significantly to other members as well because of my passion for it. So we have a government affairs committee, people participate in that, and it's gone well. It continues to be an uphill battle, especially in today's day and age where politics is, really a dirty word. Sometimes people just, they push away from the table and they get a little, jolted by it. But at the same time, they have to realize that it's tied to the success of their business. So we want to make sure that we're navigating that path. And without them, I'm not a contractor. So I rely on them to tell me how these different laws and regulations are affecting their businesses on a day-to-day basis so that I can provide feedback and help them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for that, Sam.
Oh, yeah. Elisa's going to love that.
Yes, she is. Actually, I loved it. I like how simple she made it. Like, I love that, the shield and the sword.
Yeah, I made a note.
Yeah, I did too.
I like it.
We're gonna use that. We're gonna steal it, Sam.
Yeah. Now we're going to transition to another topic that Christina, well, it's kind of what we've been talking about, but really embracing this is ABC New Jersey has, definitely embraced inclusivity. You've mentioned that, and we can't wait to find out how we can do more of that as well. But from honoring women in construction to community outreach, what strategies have you found most effective in opening doors, and how do they support your vision for the merit-based future?
So I think that we became most successful in opening doors and walking through doors when I realized I didn't need to always be the person doing it.
Mhm.
We have, people on our staff that are very capable. That's why they're on staff, because I think very highly of them. We have members that we think very highly of. Sometimes I'm not the right person that should be having this discussion with this group. If we're talking to a group of African American contractors, perhaps I'm not the right person to have the conversation of how you scale your business as a minority. I can certainly offer resources and tips and information, but I'm not the right person to be having a conversation of the struggles that perhaps these individuals are facing. So putting the right people into places to walk through that door and have those conversations and empowering them to do so has been very helpful. I would also say that talking to people at a young age has been very, very a huge success. Getting to students even in middle school, that's the prime age that I really like to talk to kids, because they haven't been steered towards college yet.
Yeah.
A lot of times when they get to high school, it's nothing against guidance counselors. I understand, they have a job to do. And I believe that many of them are starting to steer people back towards the trades. But, and it depends on the parents as well.
Right.
I can say this. Middle school gives us enough time to talk to the parents, talk to the guidance counselors, talk to the student, decide if the student is interested in the path, potentially in the trades, and then start to coach them through the rest of their education to help them get there. We do a summer camp as well for middle schoolers. We had some elementary schoolers come this year, which I thought was really nice.
Oh, that is nice.
But it's a week long, and they build a project. They get exposed to 6 or 7 different trades, and they leave at the end of the week with a project. This year we did Lamp Man, which is, a fan favorite. They love that every year. Next year, I think we're going to work with Rock Solid, and we're going to build some playgrounds for children that have pediatric cancer.
Oh,
It'll be so nice.
It is. It's really nice. I'm very excited to do it. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun. We keep it really affordable. We have scholarships for it for anybody in the community that can't afford it. But we limit it. We have a limited class, and we give them a lot of time and attention. The feedback that we always get is, my kids love this. I had not thought about them exploring a career in the but now they're interested. So it opens the door to have them come back at a later date, or just keep in contact with us of, this is what's going on. I'd love to continue to have them talk to your instructors and find out what opportunities exist. So it's been great on the parental front of changing minds as well.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Gosh, you're giving us so many ideas, by the way.
I know.
We don't want to steal ideas, but we are.
Actually, how many were in your camp? You said you limited it.
So generally each cohort is up to 15. We learned our lesson. We did up to 20 last year, and 20 middle schoolers was too much.
Was it? Yeah. For one instructor, right?
Yeah. Well, boys and girls. It's a mixed group. And we have more than one instructor. It's kind of an all hands on deck.
Oh, okay.
But at the same time, you can only tell them to stop touching each other and joking around so many times before.
So many times during the day.
A group of 15 was a more manageable number. And we have multiple locations in New Jersey. So we have a North Jersey and a South Jersey campus. So we did one in each office, which was successful. And we had our first class in North Jersey, which I didn't know really what to expect, but it went very well.
That's awesome. Yeah. So how many staff do you have, Samantha?
I have 19.
Okay.
19 full-time, and then I have 41 instructors
Okay.
that teach part-time.
That's awesome. I mean, just the impact that you're making in the state is just phenomenal. Thank you for leading the way. So I'm going to shift back to being a female in the construction industry, right? Or underrepresented backgrounds is what we've been calling it, because there's a lot of them. It's not just being a female, right? There's a lot of underrepresented backgrounds in here. As a young leader, you're fairly young in a male-populated field. What experiences have shaped you the most? This is a two-part question.
Mhm.
And what advice would you give the next generation, especially from those from underrepresented backgrounds, about careers in the construction industry?
So my experience is kind of unique because I was a healthcare lobbyist previous to this. So from the healthcare perspective, I worked for groups like the Hospital Association of New Jersey and American Cancer Society. Healthcare can be very female dominated. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a different world. However, I always worked in the government affairs realm. So I was always kind of a unicorn of being a young woman in this very male dominated field. So when I came to ABC, I think it prepared me for working in a very male dominated. Um, and make no mistake, I never thought I would end up here. I never thought that I would be in construction
Me
or
too.
I always intended to work in healthcare. This was just a chance opportunity that had popped up, and I took the opportunity to walk through that door, and it's led me to really a wonderful place. But this isn't what I, ultimately expected to be doing. But my experience in the past of working in male-dominated industries really it's served me well. And as a woman currently, I have to say I'm seeing members just come in and they're like, "I just need qualified people. I don't care
Right. They don't
what they
care.
look like. I don't care what religion they are. I don't care what gender they are. I don't care about any of that. I just need
Mm-hmm.
qualified people that want to work." So, we are doing our best. I have a soft spot, obviously, for, getting more women into the trades.
Mm-hmm.
Do a lot of talking to young ladies about the opportunities that exist. But I'm not one to sugarcoat things. This is a hard
Yeah.
industry to work in as a woman. And, there are things, I had a baby 2 years ago. I can't even imagine working on
Congratulations.
it. Thank you. I can't imagine working on a job site,
Mm-hmm.
pregnant. So
Mhm.
I've talked to our members also about the flexibility that needs to exist within the
Mm-hmm.
industry to accommodate women who are starting families or
Yeah.
have concerns about staying in the industry, because we do see a lot of women come into the industry and then when they start their family planning, they leave. So
Yes,
we're
I do.
leaving really great talent on the table because we don't have that flexibility. So really, there just needs to be a mind change, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's not a hard place to come to. But I would say the members that I've spoken to here at ABC New Jersey are very welcoming and excited about the opportunity to have more women in the trades.
Yeah. I think we're seeing a whole lot more of that, right? They're recognizing that we do have the ability to do the job.
Absolutely.
I just want to throw out there, my water broke with my second child on a job site.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I can
So,
with that.
and I was back to work in 2 weeks, just because I had just started a new job and I didn't have maternity leave.
Mhm.
So I literally had to go back in 2 weeks. But what I do love about the construction industry, and fortunately I was in sales, I did get to make my own schedule, right? As long as I was selling, I could work, pick her up from daycare, whatever the case may be, work with my husband. So there's a lot of jobs out there. Even if you're not in the field,
Yep.
you have the ability to do, and you have flexible hours. Maybe it's in sales, maybe it's in IT. There's so many other jobs around the construction industry. I just wanted to tell our listeners that you might be missing the best job of your life. I was an accountant when I fell into this industry, and I hated accounting and didn't even know it.
Mhm.
So being in the field, being outdoors, talking to people every day, learning about products, educating people, that was my jam. And I loved reading blueprints and doing estimating and picking out products for customers. So it just made sense for me. But if you don't know, you don't know.
Exactly.
So that core program is like near and dear to my heart. I didn't even know that's what you were doing in New Jersey. I'm still drinking from a fire hose when it comes to, what options we have at ABC Carolinas. But that core program would have prevented me from being in an industry that I really didn't like. You're good at math, Christy. You're good at accounting. So we're going to direct you here. That's kind of how it worked. And I'm like, okay, because nobody else was telling me what options I had. So I love that. Thank you so much for all the wisdom that you've given us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is a great conversation.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Why don't you tell our listeners how to get in touch with you if they want to find out more about ABC New Jersey or just get more insight around, your thoughts on diversity and how you get out in the communities?
Sure. I'm on LinkedIn, so you can find me, Samantha Roman. You'll see my picture on there, and you'll see my email, or you can message me on there. And then if you want to learn more about ABC New Jersey, it's www.abc, N as in Nancy, J, C as in cat.org, and that has a ton of information and resources on there. And then there's also like an information request button that they could click on and ask for additional info.
Wonderful. So definitely reach out to her and find out more about her and ABC New Jersey and how you can get involved. So thank you, Sam. We really appreciate all your insights. And of course, you are empowering the next wave of builders and advocates. And we so appreciate that. For our listeners, be sure to dive into our membership at our website, www.womentalkconstruction.com. To access tools, connections, and events. We have a big event coming up October 13th, Inclusion Week. We're very excited about it. And, don't forget to watch our TEDx talk about Vision to Victory, because it really is impactful even still today, even though it was recorded in 2024. So that's a wrap. Let's keep pushing boundaries, and we'll see everyone next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.